Hey guys, so I'm gonna do this new series. It's gonna be 10 episodes, and each one is gonna be something that I do outside of the gym that makes me better when I'm inside the gym. And I guess you could say just in general as well. But so I was just gonna try to spin it all in one, and I was like, that's just gonna be jumbled, and I need to change my look. I need to make videos shorter. Instead of like 15 to 20 minutes is what a lot of them end up being. So I'm going to work on that. And because of that, I'm just going to do one at a time. So, it's not in order either, like this is number one, but it doesn't necessarily mean that this is the number one thing that I do that's going to, it's random order. So, but this one is quite vital to the operation. So, number one I have right here is eating clean. Um, I guess it's something that I did a good amount of when I was younger, without realizing it, because my parents would cook a lot back then, and then as I was getting older, kind of were ordering a lot more takeout and stuff like that. So that's just the way things went, and then I always incorporated, junk food and snacks with, watching a movie at nighttime and things like that. And then at one point, it was even just eating those during lunch and stuff like that. And I'd say a big thing that kind of went out the window for me for a long time, probably from like 16 years old to 30. I'm 31 right now, so I just changed it recently. Is I didn't eat breakfast until by the time I was like 16. I was done eating breakfast. I used to eat breakfast until I turned 16 or 17 or something, and I would just wake up and I wouldn't be hungry in the morning, and then I would just eat lunch later. So I'd go a while past like the normal time people eat lunch, and so what I do is I'd have lunch, dinner, and then maybe like a dinner number two or something. Like it's just messed up though, because the whole point of breakfast is you're supposed to break the fast in the morning, and there's a lot of things you can put like breakfast foods that are really good for you, and it's like no wonder that those are the ones that they want people to start their days with. So that's something that I obviously had to incorporate again. So yes, I eat 3 meals a day, separated evenly, like spaced out nicely. Instead of that, I used to eat like 2 meals a day probably, but like huge meals. Like I'd heat up a plate of something, and then I'd probably heat up a plate of something else, like a different thing, and then I'd probably eat snacks after or something. I would just like eat until it's like, oh, I can't do that anymore, and that's really bad for your body. You don't want to do that. It's a bad look overall. So, I don't know. Like I said, it was important for me to spread my meals out evenly. That's going to help you to get on a more regular schedule. Uh, what else? So, here's how I did it. A lot of people think like, oh, okay, just cut out the junk food first and drop it cold turkey and just stop it. No more junk food, and then you can worry about eating healthy. No, I did it kind of the opposite in a way. So I would make sure that when I do eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, that they're pretty healthy things for the most part, And then over time, I clean them up even more. And then what I've done the past couple months is I've studied what is in what foods and what is its actual purpose. That there's protein in eggs and stuff like that, but do you know other reasons why it helps your body, and how often should you have it and stuff like that? There's a vast wealth of knowledge, a well of knowledge, whatever you want to call it. But there's a lot of knowledge, information out there, and it's at the disposal of our friggin' fingertips because we live in this type of day and age, and that's cool. And I can't wait to see how the future's going to be. It's going to be even trippier. Um, I don't know. I was watching this show. I'm watching the show Utopia, and then I saw this other one called The Feed, and some other one that's just like it, and it's messed up. So it makes you think of the future and everything, and how the internet, it can actually be one day it could be used to do like mass corruption and stuff like that, but. Um, that's just off on a tangent. Back to healthy food. So basically I would make sure when I do eat the three meals that they're spaced out evenly and that they're clean. I'm not eating like, for instance, breakfast. I used to always have like Fruity Pebbles, and I'd have like 2 or 2.5 bowls. And like you don't need to do that. It's so much sugar and junk. You're gonna have a spike and crash, spike and crash. That's no good. So I get natural sugars from fruit. So every other day I'll have a Granny Smith apple, and then sometimes on those opposite days I'll have like a banana or something like that, or sometimes I just don't have any fruit. It's not every day. It's like four to 5 times a week I'll have fruit in the morning, and then yogurt, any type of yogurt with strawberry, raspberry, peach, stuff like that. Those are good flavors, or just normal French vanilla. So, and then I have something called Carnation Essentials. It's like a dry powder. You pour it into a cup, and then I add milk. It says add 1 cup of milk. I put like 1/3 of a cup of milk, so it's like stronger. The taste is stronger. And I stir it. I whip it up. I want to make sure there's no blocks of chunks in the bottom, like on the inside of the rim going around. So I leave the fork in there just in case, and then I drink it down and then go like that again. So I smash that, make sure you get basically all of it. And then I'll have a Body Armor Light, and normal Body Armor has like 28 grams of sugar total, but the Body Armor Light only has 2. So it has 2 grams of naturally occurring sugars that's within the ingredients that are already in it. But if you just get the regular kind, it has 26 grams of added sugars. So it opened my eyes to that. And I used to drink juice and stuff. So here's how it was. I would do that, and then I would still drink juice with a bunch of sugar in it. Then I realized, oh snap, I gotta cut that out. So I started drinking things like Body Armor Light, or I just increase my water intake daily. That helps. It helps to flush things out of your body, and just helps to keep you good. I mean, that's honestly what we should be drinking, but I like to drink a couple of those other things, and I also drink polar seltzers now. I don't drink soda. So like once I got those regular things down, then I started cutting out things, and not even junk foods like Smart Food or Funyuns, because I wanted to give that up last, because I really love having those at nighttime and stuff. So I cleaned up my meals, and I cleaned up what I was drinking alongside my meals or throughout the day, because it's food and drink. Like, let's be real. And I'd say after that, that's when I went to tackle the final piece, which was A, cutting back on the snacks, and then B, eventually just not having them. Another thing I like to do is just have a healthier snack. You can have rice cakes with a little bit of peanut butter on them. I get the caramel rice cakes, and I put a thin layer of creamy peanut butter on them, and I have like 2 of them or something. It's delicious, and it's low calorie and everything like that. And that's fine. So, and then I started making sure, like today, like even now in the past week, like, yeah, dude, I have a little treat at night, like every other night, I should say, like a little thing of gummy worms, or, I don't know, like, chocolate or something like that, or munchies, like, I'll have like half a bag of the, $1.89 Smart Food or whatever, or I'll have half a bag of the whole bag or something like that. So obviously I still reward myself a little, but I could clean that up when I need to, like in the future. If I ever need to lose a good amount of weight, more weight, and also it makes me feel better. I've gone on like 2 to 3 weeks with no snacks and stuff like that, and then I'll go back to it for a little, but I don't eat a bunch of snacks. I have one snack, and it's usually half of the serving that I used to have. In fact, I used to have 2 or 3 whole servings of that, so it's just a massive difference. Yeah, eating clean, and it's not just like, hey, I'm eating clean just cause, like, I care about what I put in my body because I care about how I feel without having to put stuff in my body, like not food, like other things, So I'm trying to be as comfortable and as good as I want to feel as comfortable and as good in my body as I can, for what it is. So I know eating healthy is going to help that. It's like, your body's a temple, it's a vessel. It's a spot where our soul can rest temporarily, or our consciousness. If a soul's not really a thing, then our consciousness is like our brain, it connects to everything. So, I don't know. that's one thing that was like a vital change in my life. Not even for, when I'm in the gym and we're sparring or we're rolling or we're learning new techniques from the coaches and stuff like that. It's just life in general. Like my energy levels are a little better. I always struggle with low energy levels, and it helps me out a little bit. Some days I feel a little down or not lazy, but lackadaisical or something like that. I don't know, lethargic. There you go, a bunch of L's. But so yeah. But once I began doing that, it took a couple months, and I began to feel the difference physically, and it clears you up mentally too, because our whole body and our consciousness and our hearts, our organs, everything is interconnected. So we operate on a system as one. So as much as I want to say when I go to the gym and stuff like that, that's physical, but a lot of the healing that I'm doing outside is mental, and I guess you could say like emotional in a way, like, so heart, mind, body, and soul, those four things is one. I just recommend anybody who wants to feel a little bit better in their own skin, not like just about yourself, not like, it wasn't because like I thought I was fat or something like that. I just wanted to feel better, and I actually was a little bit. I was putting on weight, which I never did when I was growing up. I could eat whatever I want, and I'd stay skinny as hell, man. And at one point, it started to catch up to me a little bit. Not throughout my whole body or anything like that, just my lower abdomen. Like I would always have that 4-pack on the top, but that fifth and sixth one on the bottom. Eventually, it went away, and it became this little like curl, like this little lump thing, and I hate it. And I'm working at getting rid of it completely. It's almost there, but like obviously if I'm flexing, it looks good, and then when I relax, I'm like, oh, I hate it. But I guess everybody's or most people are like that, and we notice things about ourselves more than others do. Unless that's something somebody thought of to say to somebody to make them feel better one day, and then it just stuck. Damn it. But anyways, so I'll drop in on the next video, and we'll talk about the number 2 thing. Like I said, it's not in order of importance or anything, but this was a big one for me. I really recommend it to anybody who wants to, clean up their life a little bit. And this will help you with discipline as well, because this takes self-discipline, and you really need to stay consistent. And that's something that martial arts is teaching me as I go along with it. And it's teaching me it in other areas. And you can see how it has that effect on me and on others. And this is like what music did for me. It was an outlet for me. It made me feel so much better, and I was able to really express myself. A lot of those things stay the same in this. So I hope everybody's doing good. I really do. The good weather's coming, and it's been like that the past 2 days out here, so I'm grateful for that. And I hope you're all looking forward to a bright spring and summer. Everybody stay up, and until next time, stay safe, be blessed, and live lavishly. Peace, guys.